This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
We All Be is honored to have gospel sensation Sister RaIney Harris, who is truly beyond category in terms of her talent, her ability to get the message that's inside her amplified with her unique and powerful voice. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So I would like to ask you just a couple of simple questions. First of all, where do you get the talent from?
Well, I think it's God-given, number one. It's not something that you choose. I just believe that you're born with certain gifts and talents, and this just happens to be one of the talents that God has blessed me with, to be able to sing.
That's excellent. So anybody in your family know how to sing or sing?
Well, my mother, you would never hear her sing.
Mm-hmm.
She has a beautiful voice, actually. She sings like an angel, but she would never sing in public. I do have cousins who sing, and they got it actually from both sides, their mother's side and their father's side. So I think that's pretty much where I got it from.
So what inspired you to have the courage to sing in public?
What inspired me? Well, when something is a passion of yours and you love to do it, it's just something I believe that comes naturally. You overcome whatever fears that you may encounter because you know you have something inside that you want to express to the world. And so you just fight past that and you just let it come forth. I've been singing ever since literally I can remember. They told me before I started talking I was singing in the baby bed. So all of my life, singing has been such a big part of who I am. So at some point, it can't help but to come out.
So I also know you're a very acclaimed and accomplished actress. So which came first, acting or singing?
I would definitely say singing. Acting, I always like to play in the mirror. I would like to act like I was different characters. I love the movies, and I would try to act like different ones. So I believe singing came first, but acting was definitely shortly afterwards. And then it kind of goes hand in hand.
That's excellent. So who are your influences when it comes to singing? Like some of your...
You know what? I have so many influences. It's hard to narrow it down to just one. But of course, growing up, it would have to be Diana Ross. I just thought she was a wonderful performer. She was very captivating with her stage presence. I loved Natalie Cole, The Temptations. My father would listen to all of. I would always tell him he was stuck in the 70s and 60s. So it definitely had an impact on me. So The Temptations, the OJs, Marvin Gaye, loved all of them. And of course, as I got older, I was a fan of Prince, Lionel Richie, and then later on, Whitney Houston. When I was a teenager, early teenager, I think she came out. And of course, I fell in love with her voice. Who wouldn't? She's a powerhouse. And that would have to be the beginning of my love for different artists.
So it actually just like, you're from Murfreesboro, or where are you from?
Yes, originally from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And I've been in Memphis for the past 15 years.
So what was the music scene like growing up in Murfreesboro?
Let's see, the music scene, we didn't have a black station growing up, not until I was in the 5th grade. Of course we knew black artists because, you know, you have CDs. Well, no, not at the time. You had records, albums, and some cases, some cases 8 tracks. You know, in one of my father's cars, I do remember 8 tracks. But anyway, of course, we had access to different artists, but it was a very white influenced environment. So I listened to MTV and VH1 before they started really playing black artists. So I think I was exposed to a lot of different genres, but my heart always kind of came back to that R&B soul type of feel that was just always in me.
That's excellent. Okay, so you went to Tennessee State, correct?
I did, 93 through 97.
That's cool. So how was that experience?
I loved my HBCU experience. I would not trade it for the world. It taught me so many things. I was able to meet so many different people from different walks of life. And I attribute it to being the woman that I am today. One of the reasons, just some of the experiences that I learned while at Tennessee State and some of the relationships that I developed, you know, second to none, even with some of my professors who I continue to keep in contact with. So definitely had a great impact on my life.
So I guess I jumped a little bit. I went to college, but were you a part of any type of performing arts program growing up, like in your education, like high school or middle school?
Yes, I was. In elementary school, I was a part of the chorus. And then once I attended middle school, I auditioned for the chorus there, and I was selected to be one of the members. In high school, I was a cheerleader as well as in the chamber singers, which you auditioned to be a part of that. I was also a part of the mid-state and the all-state chorus, which you auditioned from people or students all over the state of Tennessee. I also was a part of the drama department. So acting and singing has always been a large part of my life.
That's excellent. So let's go back to Tennessee State, because I jumped the gun a little bit. So did you do any production or any singing at Tennessee State?
I did. I was a part of the Tennessee State University show choir, which we will call the TSU Showstoppers, under the direction of Mrs. Diana Poe. And I love that experience. We would go to different places and perform. And we did some show tunes and some dance moves, so that was very exciting. I was also a part of the drama department at Tennessee State, and I was in several plays there. Also wrote and directed a play. Of course, it was a part of my degree in order for me to graduate, but I really enjoyed that experience.
So what was your ambitions coming out of school? I mean, what were you planning to do?
You know what I plan to do and what I'm doing now is completely opposite of my plan. But I thank God for my plan, the plan that He had for me versus my own. But I had planned to be on Broadway, to be a big star, go to New York and try my hand in acting, singing, dancing, whichever one came first. That's what I was going to do. So I was just going to live my life as a performer, entertainer. But God had other plans.
I mean, also you was recognized by your peers before you was going to go to the Broadway. You actually did some stuff at Memphis Playhouse on the Square. You received the Larry Riley Rising Star Award. So you really was a star on the rise, and you was getting all the accolades and whatnot. And also you did a movie, A Deal with the Devil, that came out in '99. And how you was able to get that gig? What was that about? Tell a story about that.
Well, you know what brought me to Memphis, actually I auditioned for the Memphis Black Repertory Theater, and I was cast in a role, and then later on became a company member in conjunction with Playhouse on the Square. So that's how I ended up in Memphis. And while in Memphis during that time, I auditioned for an independent Christian film entitled Deal with the Devil. And on the set, I met my current pastor now, and he prayed for me, opened my mind to the things of God, just walking in the Spirit. God was truly revealed to me on the set. and my life has never been the same again. And I ended up getting out of acting professionally, and I ended up working in the church and just giving my talents to the Lord.
That's excellent. 'Cause I know when I met you not too long ago, I saw the movie Deal with the Devil. It reminded me like of an updated version of Hallelujah. It was the first black Hollywood production and was actually shot in Memphis near Lamar. And you remind me of Nene Mae McKinney, who was the rising star in that film. Because, I mean, you just have a lot of charisma that jumps out on the scene. And even when you are doing live performances, you got such an awesome stage presence and a way to connect with the audience. So where did that come from? Was that training or was it natural?
Well, I would have to say a lot of it was natural. My family would tell you, they say, "RaIney, you've been performing all of your life," but not really. I think it's just who I am, you know. But definitely going to school and actually working on different skills and fine-tuning them and being aware of different things to make it come together, to make it better. I would definitely attribute that to training.
That's excellent. Also in 2002, I believe, you came out with your first album.
I did.
Be Satisfied.
Yes.
So how was that experience for you?
It was a wonderful experience. During that time, I had just kind of left the theater, I think 2 years or so prior. So it was definitely exciting to know that, okay, I'm doing this for God now, and He has something great in store for me. So I met wonderful people doing that CD. Ashley Davis, he wrote a lot of the material and produced it. It was wonderful working with him. John Payne and his brother David Payne, very sweet spirits. And we had a wonderful time creating that music.
That's excellent. So what was the response to it, you know, when it came out? What was the response you got from people?
Well, a lot of people did like it. Of course, it did not go really far, but I did have support with that project. And it blessed those, I believe, who it intended to bless at that time.
That's excellent. So we fast forward to, I guess, now it's 2016, but like late 2015, you released your next album, which is the Latter Rain Experience. Can you tell us about that album?
Well, I released it November the 14th, 2015. So we're looking at about a month and a half ago. And God actually put in my spirit about 2 years ago to record a project and just express some things from my heart and something that would be a blessing to people and lead them into praise and worship. So that's how the Latter Rain Experience came about, basically meaning the last day outpour of God's Spirit. And the mission was just for people to be able to enter in and experience His presence in a special way. And this journey has been 2 years, and so I thank God that the project is finally out. And a lot of people say that they are being blessed by it, and I'm just thrilled to know that God's will is going forth.
It's an excellent album indeed.
Thank
I really
you.
enjoyed myself. Very good workout music. So I would ask you this, is there a connection? 'Cause I know your name is RaIney,
Yes.
and this happened in Latter Rain, which is interesting. So is there a connection with the Latter Rain movement that happened in 1948? Is there any connection to that at all?
Actually, to be honest, the Lord just gave me the name. You know, there's no real difficult formula to it. Basically, it's the last day outpour of God's Spirit, the presence of God, rain representing the Holy Spirit. My name just happened to be RaIney, you know. And I'm glad God gave it to me because it is a nice little combination there with my name being RaIney, but actually that's what it really means.
That's excellent. I was just overdoing it because I was researching the Latter Rain movie. Okay, this happened. Okay, so I was making sure. I was just curious about if there was a connection to, you know, the other stuff. So let me ask you this: like, you know, your voice is a blessing from God, and you're doing God's work, advocacy through your voice, through your gift of singing. Has it been difficult getting the word out? Has it been difficult getting your album played and whatnot, or getting people to buy into what you're doing, industry-wise?
Well, I will say this. I thank God for His vision. And when he calls you to do something, he is going to open up the door. He's going to make the way for you. It's not going to always be an easy way.
Right.
You will have some struggles. You will have some rejection, but that's okay, because when God has called you to do it, you have to be obedient to his word and believe that he will do whatever he has destined for you to do. So I thank God that the people around me have supported me, people who I don't even know. They have gotten on board because they say that this has really blessed them. So for that, I am grateful. As far as certain radio stations playing it, yes, it is an uphill battle. But the good thing is to know that people are being blessed by it, and what God has for you is for you. And I believe that it will touch the lives and it will go forth to the masses of people who God has ordained for it to go to.
That's excellent. Okay, that's great. So, like, I know I saw your pastor first Sunday of the new year. I was there. I really enjoyed the service.
Thank you.
And he talked about this year being about change and about, you know, speaking into existence what you want out of your life. You know, turning the page on that, you know, book of life. And I want to know, like, what would be the ultimate in terms of, like, you know, I'm successful. Like, what would you like to see as far as, like, you know, in terms of your career accomplishment?
Accomplishments in terms of my career. My number one goal is, number one, of course, to do the will of God, but I want my message, my voice to be heard and to be impactful and to do what God said it will do, and basically for people to experience the presence of God, for deliverance to come forth, to bring joy, to bring peace. And I would like to reach the masses with that, because I believe what God has given me, people can be blessed by it. So that would be my ultimate goal, to reach the masses.
That's excellent. So you don't got any, like, I want to sing at Carnegie Hall, nothing like that, anything like that?
You know what? If those things happen, yes, it would definitely be an honor. Will I be grateful? Will I be excited? Oh, yes, I would be jumping up and down. Praise the Lord. However, if it doesn't happen, that does not mean that I'm not successful. That just means whatever God has for me is going to come. I just have to make sure that I give 110% in whatever I'm doing, and make sure I do my part, and it's up to God to do the rest.
Now, Sister RaIney, I would like to know, and a lot of us would like to know, who inspired you to act?
Oh, as a little girl, everybody remembers Foxy Brown.
That's right, that's right.
Pamela Greer. So, of course, that movie, seeing a woman in charge and taking control, I love that, you know. So as a little girl, that inspired me. And then, of course, as I got older and I started pursuing my career, and of course majoring in speech communications and theater in college, Angela Bassett, she was on the rise, and I just loved her. I love Lynn Whitfield too. Oh yeah. Yeah, so those two were definitely my favorite.
So are you open?
Inspired me.
So are you open to doing movies in the future as well as the singer?
You know what? I'm definitely open to whatever comes my way, if it's a right fit for me at the right time. Definitely open, but is it a desire or a dream of mine? You know, will my life not be fulfilled if it doesn't come? Not at all. If it comes, wonderful. If it doesn't, I'm good. So I guess I'm open.
So what are your favorite movies? You got any movie favorites?
Movie
or
favorites.
Genres you like?
You know what? I love action-packed movies.
Okay.
I want to be on the edge of my seat screaming and like, oh. Yeah, I want to see all the blood, the killing. Sorry, I love it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, got a lot in the Bible too, though.
Yeah. And a lot of plot. I like a plot. I like to be able to guess what's going to happen. I don't want it just to be laid out for me.
So would you like to do an action movie then that comes along?
Yeah, I can see myself doing an action movie. Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent.
I think I would like that.
That's great. That's excellent. And also, have you been doing some recent, like, have you made your return to the play, to the stage, excuse me?
You know what? Back in last January 2014. An old director who was responsible for bringing me here to Memphis with the Memphis Black Repertory Theater, he called me and told me he was directing a play at Playhouse on the Square, and he wanted me to audition. So I auditioned for the Gospel at Colonus, and I was cast as RaIney. And so I made my, I guess, return to the stage in June. And we ran from June 19th through July 12th, met some wonderful people who I'm still in contact with, and that was a great experience.
So I ask you this, so what is your definition of an artist?
Definition of an artist, I think it has a lot of different meanings. I believe one who expresses his or herself. One who is able to tap into a creative side, whatever that creativity may be. One who is free, one who is open, one who is just in tune with the things that are around them. That's what I think an artist is. That's
excellent. That's a great definition. So, also, like, overall for your life, what would be success for you?
Overall for my life, success is being who God has called me to be. I had tried it RaIney's way many, many years, and I failed tremendously at it. So just being in the will of God, my music ministry going forward, touching people's lives, being impactful, making a difference in people's lives. And I want to leave something with the next generation, my generation, those generations before me. I want to touch people's lives and make a difference.
So, like, speaking on that, you also have a bucket list by any chance? Anything on a bucket list, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You know what? I've had many things on my bucket list. But right now, of things to do, get the word out about this project, the Latter Rain Experience.
That's right.
Because this is my passion, my heart. This is something that I received from God, and it's time for it to come forth. So that's my main focus.
And the difference between the Latter Rain Experience versus Be Satisfied is that you actually wrote most of the material on the Latter Rain Experience, correct?
Well, on the Latter Rain Experience, I have 7 songs, and I help write 3 of those songs. But as far as the direction in which to go, the style, I had a lot more creative involvement in this project. It was really something from my heart. So I was there every step of the way, trying to create a certain sound that I felt was me.
That's excellent. So like basically this is you. This is your voice.
Yes.
This is your magnum opus, so to speak.
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
My life experiences, things that I've gone through, places where I am now, and the ultimate goal, getting into the presence of God. That's the ultimate goal.
That's excellent. So like, what do you say to people? You know, like a lot of times people are turned off by the church. No disrespect. People are turned off by the church. They think there's a lot of phoniness in the church, a lot of disappointments and whatnot. And here you are. You was on your way to the bright lights of New York City. Broadway. You had a lot of all these awards. You was riding this wave. Then all of a sudden you just made that U-turn or whatever and came back into the church. And so, like, what do you say to people that might be disillusioned by the church?
I will say that God is real. Seek God, know God for yourself. Don't judge everyone else around you. You just make sure you are right with God and your heart is right. And you read your word and you develop a relationship with the Lord. And as long as your relationship is right, you can't go by what other people are doing. Because on Judgment Day, it's going to be between you and the Lord, and you have to make sure you get it right. And everyone in church is not bad. Church is a hospital. You have sick people. You have people who need to be delivered. So thank God that you're coming to church. So hopefully you keep on coming. You can continue to get better and grow stronger in the Lord.
That's very awesome.
So I just don't think that's an excuse that I'm not going to church because there's so many you know, people with sins in the church. Well, you know what? I'd rather be, like my pastor says, I'd rather be in church where you have a few hypocrites than with hell with all of them. Amen.
All right, okay, all right, sister. All right. And also, I was, let me see. I have you here right now. I'm trying to, Man, just some of that some friendly stuff. Like some simple. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food, seafood. Oh, I just had a moment right there. Yes.
Any particular dish or type?
I love crab, lobster, salmon.
Okay, salmon's good. Yeah.
Tilapia. I like a lot of it. Scallops. All of it.
So that's your favorite food?
Yeah,
that's
seafood.
Excellent. All right, cool. A favorite restaurant by any chance?
Favorite restaurant? Some type of a seafood restaurant. But
Red Lobster?
No. That is not seafood. I like authentic seafood.
Favorite place to vacation?
Favorite, you know what? There's so many places that I want to go. I don't want to limit myself. But since it's so cold here right now and I don't like the cold, definitely somewhere warm in the Caribbean somewhere.
That's excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Favorite color, you know what? That changes every year. It depends on how I'm feeling at that time. But I really love red. I guess I'm on reds right now.
You are a Delta, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope you love red being a Delta. But also, favorite book?
Favorite book. You know what? This book changed my life. And it's called The 5 Love Languages. And it really taught me how to deal with people and different relationships, not necessarily with a man and a woman. Of course, it helped me with that, but just in relationships, period. I think that's a great read. So if you haven't read that, that's a little plug. It really changed my life and how I viewed relationships, you know, how I understood people. And this is the way some people need to be loved, and this is the way that I need to be loved. And you may not have the same love language, but you need to love that person in that love language to make that relationship better.
That's excellent. And speaking of books, I do believe that everybody have a book in them to share with the world. And I had actually, like I'm doing my research, researching of you, I found that you had a blog and you had some very interesting things to say about spirituality, about faith, about just getting through life. And I just want to commend you to keep on writing that stuff, man. I mean, like, you're a writer as well. Why not write a book? Have you thought about writing a book?
Well, you know what? That's on that bucket list of things, but it's kind of far down on the bucket list because I have so many other things that I'm trying to do. But hopefully, eventually, I will get to it one day. But until the end, I'm just going to continue to express myself through song, through poems, through tributes, or any type of writing. That's
excellent. So you are a great communicator. You're excellent at communicating.
Thank you.
The body language, the spoken word, the singing word, the written word, anything to do with words, you're pretty good at getting your point across. So, like, what do your people think about what you're doing, like your family and friends?
You know what? My family and my friends are so supportive of me, and I just want to tell you thank you so much. I could not do this without you. You are my strength, my rock, and my encourager. Thank you so much. So they are very supportive, and like I said, I couldn't do it without them. So they're very excited for me.
That's excellent. So you got a very close-knit family. And people,
yes, very close-knit family. We do pretty much everything together. We meet on a regular basis. Of course, I don't live in Murfreesboro, but they continue the family traditions even though I'm not there. And when I'm home, they keep me going every day. I'm like, can I rest right now? My sister's a little tired, but they keep me going.
That's excellent. That's cool. Also, I like that you love to travel.
I love to travel. Yes, so many places I want to go, and my desire, and of course I believe that this will be fulfilled before I close my eyes on this earth. I want to go to every place that I can in the entire world, on every livable continent. I just believe that God's beauty is so grand and so awesome that I want to experience all of it. I just don't want to go to a certain few places. I want to go as many places as possible and experience as many cultures as possible, because I love people and I love my own culture. Yes, I do, because I was this is what I know, it's who I am, but I also like experiencing everyone else's culture.
So would you come as a person that's as a visitor or as a missionary spreading the word, or how you visualize yourself in visiting the continents?
Well, of course, with mission work, wherever the Lord calls me, when He calls me, I shall go. However, that's one part of it. But the other aspect, I just want to go and experience a vacation and go hiking, do some adventurous things, mountain climbing. I want to do all of that.
Skydiving, perhaps?
I sure will.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
okay. That's all this on your bucket list, I
I love
guess.
to parasail. I love snorkeling.
Wow.
I would love to get my license and do some scuba diving. Yes.
So you like to live life.
Yes.
You are an action woman.
Yes.
Action woman of faith. That's excellent.
Yes.
So, you know, what do you say to people that want to live their dreams, that want to strive to make their dreams reality, but don't have the family support, or don't have the faith or the courage or the drive that you have? What would you say to people right now in this new year?
Well, this is one of the scriptures that I keep very close. It's near and dear to my heart. And all of us experience fear at some point in our lives, some more than others. But I just have to realize that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And if you keep those three things on the forefront of your mind, then you'll realize, I have to overcome this. I have more than enough power, which God has already given me, to conquer it all. And you don't want to live your life with regrets. Right. Give 110%. Try it. Put it all on the table. If it doesn't happen the way you think it's going to happen, you still did not fail because you did it. That makes you successful when you step out there against the odds, against everything that has come against you, and you still do it, and you can honestly say at the end of the day, I did my best. Then you're successful. But don't live life with regrets. Don't let something like fear keep you from being great, because God has put greatness down on the inside of everyone. It just has to come forth. You just have to channel that and bring it forth.
That's amazing. Motivational speaker, another one on your list. Vocation for you. Tell about motivational speaking?
Bucket list.
Bucket list. I mean, I'm just saying, you got all this stuff. You great communicator. Motivational speaker, singer extraordinary, actress. Just a 5-tool player, like they say in baseball. You can do it all.
Thank you.
You just got you're an MVP. So,
that's sweet of you.
Well, it's the truth, man. I mean, I'm really, my thing is I'm always inspired by people that are very passionate at what they do, because your passion will help you overcome things that you are deficient in. Like Muhammad Ali, I'm going to paraphrase what Muhammad Ali said: in order to be a great champion, your will must be greater than your skill. You must have the will and the desire to want to be a champion in order to be a champion. And if you don't have that going for you, then you'll be able to get stopped easily. Cause I know you've been through a lot, just on this journey. And they always say you should enjoy the journey more than the destination. And I'm sure you had your, setbacks. For every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Definitely.
So I mean, I see it in you. You're a warrior, in the spirit, and you are, driven to. You're not gonna stop till you get where you're supposed to go. I see that in you already. Why Memphis?
Why Memphis? Well, actually, I was right out of college. I was 23 years old, and I was blessed to work professionally. I always kept a job in performing after college. And so I was looking for a different place to audition for, and I loved Once on This Island. It was my favorite musical, and the Memphis Black Repertory Theater was going to be doing it. So I called for an audition. I had to get on the waiting list and end up auditioning, and they wanted me for Blues in the Night instead. So I ended up working professionally here in theater And from that point, I started working with my church, and I accepted God as or Jesus as my Lord and Savior. So I ended up staying at the church that I am now and working for the church. So that's how I got to Memphis. I didn't necessarily choose Memphis. I was only here in passing. I was going to be here to do this play and then become a company member, and then I think I was going to be here the course of a year and a half, supposedly. And then I was going out to another job and moving on and just, traveling the country doing different plays and taking different jobs. So I wouldn't say I got stuck in Memphis, but God knew the plan, and I ended up staying in Memphis.
That's excellent. Now, where do you get your fashion sense from? Were you born with that? Jesus, you just on point with your fashion.
Well, thank you.
I'm impressed with it.
Thank you. Well, my grandmother, Bessie Black, was a sharp dresser. She was a sharp dresser, and I believe my family has style, so maybe, it's come on me from them. But we like nice, fashionable things.
Yeah, I see, man. You rocking that fur coat in your head. I'm impressed. Like, you was a star. You was a born star. You already playing the role.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So, you consider yourself a diva?
No.
Why?
No diva. You know what? I'm just down to earth. I'm RaINey. I am who I am. I'm genuine. I'm loving. I'm very kind. My heart has always gone out to the underdog. Even as a little girl, if I saw someone being picked on, that was the person I wanted to befriend. Wow. Not the one who was so popular and everybody, was following behind. Always had a heart for people. So to consider myself as a diva, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but that's just not who I am. I'm no diva. I'm just RaINey.
You do come across as down home to earth, but also, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're a very pretty woman.
Thank you.
And I can see how some guys may be intimidated by you because, I don't know. I can see how some guys might, she just, she's this and that. But when I met you, you didn't seem like that. You didn't seem like you were stuck up or anything like that. So let me ask you this about the fellas. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. You're a gorgeous woman.
Thank you.
Very talented, very intelligent, very accomplished, and very dedicated. Is it difficult to meet a guy that's equally yoked or a guy that's on that level with you? Is it hard to find those type of men inside and outside the church?
Well, I will just say I am still single, and the reason why is I haven't met anyone who I have just connected with spiritually as well as mentally, someone that I could see myself with for the rest of my life. Because when I get married, I only want to be married once. I don't want to go through 2 and 3 marriages. So I haven't met anyone who I would want to spend the rest of my life with at this point. But who knows what God has in store in the future.
That's cool. So, but do you think that people, because to me it seems like a lot of folks are not who they really are when you first meet them.
I agree.
So you think that's like people not being genuine? Because it's like you're genuine. I know there's more to you than me. So I don't know everything about you, of course. And you don't know everything about me or anybody else. But you think a problem with people is that they're not really who they are when you meet them, or they wear the mask too much, don't know when to take it off?
Well, what I have found, I've met some amazing people, wonderful people, and they just may not be for me, And it doesn't take away from the greatness that's within them, the wonderful person that they are. Matter of fact, we're still friends, we have wonderful relationships. Just because you don't end up marrying someone doesn't mean that you can't continue to have a wonderful friendship. So I wouldn't say that I've met just a lot of fake people. I just haven't met someone who I would want to marry, that's all.
Also, I want to ask this, but I remember lately about the relationship, the 5 love languages. I just think it's fascinating because people, a situation with the black man and the black woman, it's like we can't get along supposedly. Black man can't get along with the black woman, the black woman cannot get along with the black man. Do you think the problem is that we got these unrealistic goals or ideas about what a relationship really is, a successful relationship? Is that what it is, that we kind of unrealistic about what a relationship is supposed to be?
Well, what I do know is I believe that each person, number one, you have to be comfortable and confident in who you are, comfortable in your own skin. You have to know what you want and not be selfish about that either. And anytime you're trying to make a relationship work, then you must cater to their needs as well. It's not all about what I want or this is how I like it, and if you can't do this or that, then I don't want to have anything to deal with you or to do with you. It's about coming together if you're trying to be in a relationship, and it's about compromise. Well, what makes your baby tick? Well, what makes yours? And then you kind of compromise and work together and try to make it work. But anytime you go into something with a set way of thinking and you're not flexible at all, pretty much it's not going to work, because you're two individuals, two different way of thinking. You may be very similar, but we're still all different. So when two individuals try to come together to have a relationship, it's a give and take. It's a compromise. It's being considerate of each other's feelings. So that's my take on it.
One more question about relationships. I think this is interesting. The old timer, Dick Gregory, told me this is an important thing to make relationships work. He said that you got to be lovable. Not necessarily in love, but lovable. Do you agree with being lovable instead of being in love? Is that the key to relationships? You
know what? I like that because I understand what he's saying. You have to be lovable. Some people are so hardcore and so rigid, or when they get upset, it's just like, what? They're so nasty. You have to be lovable. I like that. Yes, I definitely agree with that. But some people don't act lovable all the time. They don't make you want to love them. So definitely be kind, be sweet. Even when you're saying things that you don't like, it's a way to say everything, because I can say the same thing to you and get a different response just by the way that I say it. So make sure that you watch what you say, how you say, express yourself in love and be lovable. And yeah, definitely you can make a relationship work a lot better with those things.
That's excellent. Okay, and one more question about relationships, because I think it's important. For me as a black man in my 30s, people put pressure on me about having kids and being married. Do you feel like you have that same type of pressure about needing to be married and having kids, especially being involved in church?
Well, you know what I find in a lot of settings, and I tell people you have to be very careful about that, because they feel like, oh, well, you haven't arrived, or you haven't achieved things in life if you haven't been married, or if you don't have kids. And I'm like, and those things are wonderful. One day I do want to be married. If it's not too late, have one child. But if those things are not happening, or if it hasn't happened at this point, that doesn't make you any less of an individual, because you have to be a whole person before you get married or before you have a child. So I try not to allow people's views and their ideas of what my life should be, or what a successful woman's life should be, by being married or having a child. I'm just who I am, and you just accept me for who I am, or you accept not to be around me. But I try not to allow people to dictate to me where I should be in my life, or try to make me feel bad because I'm not where they think I should be in my life.
Excellent. So I'm going to get off the relationship stuff. Okay, let's talk about how can we support Sister RaIney Harris and the latter RaIN Experience movement. I'm going to call it a movement. How can we support you? What do we need to do?
Thank you. I really like that movement, because I do believe it's a movement of God. But I am available on all digital music outlets. You can go pretty much anywhere. Click on RaIney Harris or the latter RaIN Experience and download the music. I also have a website, www.raineyharris.com. You can find me there. You can find me on all social media. I'm on Facebook, RaIney Harris Psalmist, Instagram, Twitter, RaIney_Harris. So there's plenty of different outlets that you can find me, find my music. I would love your support. And I do believe God has a word for you through the message of song, and that you will be blessed by it.
That's excellent. You are the queen of social media there. You step my game up. Be inspired. You know, you're just so good at a lot of things you do. I mean, you just
Thank you.
got a certain touch. So do you like to share any last words or thoughts with our audience today or tonight, rather?
Well, last words. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been very interesting, and it's been wonderful. And thank you to all who are viewing. Thanking you in advance for your support. Go and support the Let It Rain Experience movement. And I do believe that you will be blessed by it. God bless you. And you will be hearing from me again in the future, because I'm currently in the studio working on more music to give to you.
All right. A gift from God, indeed. So in the words of Break the Gilton, Sister RaIney, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. And the best is yet to come. Thank you so much.